two words. Well, at first, Zoran Mamdani, the Democratic Socialist who just won the mayoral race in New York City. It's not a shocker, by no means, for what he was selling, what he keeps selling, his pitch, and the fact that his opponents, well, one was technically one of the worst Democrats and worst mayors in recorded history, and there was no way, absolutely no way, that Mamdani was going to lose going against Cuomo. Wasn't happening. And Sliwa, he was just not enough strength there at all. So that's what we're discussing today. And if you feel so inclined, please like, share, and subscribe, and I would very much appreciate that. So let's just get into it.
I am here with the mayor-elect of New York City, Zoran Mamdani. Congratulations. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
You broke a lot of new ground last night. First Muslim mayor of New York, first Democratic Socialist, first mayor to win more than 1 million votes in, 3 decades, youngest mayor in more than a century. So what is the message and the mandate behind that?
The message is about transforming the most expensive city in the United States of America into one that's affordable for each and every New Yorker. And what New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs gave us last night was a mandate to pursue the most ambitious affordability agenda the city has seen since the days of Fiorello LaGuardia. And it's time that we start to deliver it.
Well, let's dig into that, because you're talking about a rent freeze, you're talking about free buses, you're talking about free childcare. Can you do that without raising taxes?
I think you can do that, and I think you have to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers who make more than $1 million a year, and you do that by raising taxes by them 2%. And then you also increase the corporate tax of New York State to match that of New Jersey. So that takes us from about 7.25 to about 11.5%, which is what we see in New Jersey. These things together raise about $9 billion, which more than pays for our economic agenda and also starts to Trump-proof our city.
But are you worried that could drive?
That is, his math's a little off. I do a little bit of research. I try to get as many of my ducks in a row as possible. Even though there isn't an actual technical Mamdani tax plan as of yet, a critical analysis of the plan, what he's just talking about just now with Stephanopoulos here, by the Cato Institute, suggests the projected revenue may be overestimated. Corporate tax hike, the plan proposed raising the top corporate income tax to 11.5% is estimated, according to Mamdani, $5 billion, as he said. 2% income tax hike on the top 1% of individuals making $1 million or more, generating $4 billion. That is not correct. By the math isn't mathing. Essentially, the calculation mistakenly confuses the top marginal rate with the average rate tax and doesn't account for existing taxes on higher earning companies. He is painting a picture that can never be finished. It will not happen. And what a lot of people are understanding with this free, the terminology they love to throw around a lot with the Democrats is free isn't free. And it's ridiculous how many times this has to be said in regards to, like, say, insurance for all, like a lot of countries have. They also have a 40 to 50% income tax across the board for everyone. So it's not free. You're paying for it yourself. The citizens of the country are paying for this free insurance. So it works the same way in Canada. I have friends that live there. I speak to them quite often, and it's not all sunshine and rainbows there as they like to portray on the liberal media. So his proposals they're pipe dreams. It will not happen. There's no way he's going to get that executed. Not to mention the fact that the governor of the state, Kathy Hochul, already said she wasn't going to raise the taxes on the rich. She wasn't going to raise taxes, period. So who's going to catch that are the working class people, because they're going to get their money one way or another. That's something else that people aren't accounting for. It doesn't matter if they're a socialist, a capitalist, a communist, even though apparently communism and socialism have been coupled into the same basket. Money is the driver for all of them. He will be lining his pockets. His people will be getting their pockets lined. And that is literally the ultimate goal, is to get rich for them and make it look like. And they'll have all kinds of obstacles and people in their way to prevent this from happening. It's going to be straight BS.
Drive a lot of job creators out of New York.
So what I've heard from a number of business leaders is that the affordability crisis is also affecting their ability to attract and retain talent. The city's inability to provide childcare means that businesses often have to provide stipends for that childcare. Right now, the absence of universal childcare means that a family will pay around $22,500 a year, which is more money than many of them would spend if they sent that same kid to college 18 years later. And it is time for city government to actually step up to the responsibility that it has.
Not just the city government. That kind of a tax increase is going to require the state as well, including the governor, Kathy Hochul. Is she on board?
You know, I'm proud to have Governor Kathy Hochul's endorsement and the endorsement of our agenda, specifically universal childcare. And I've said time and again, I think these are the two.
And says something else they like to do. These politicians, I get so sick of this. They never answer a question straight, especially the Democrats. They don't do it. They don't do it. He just completely sidestepped that. Did not answer the question about whether or not the governor is supporting these tax increases. It went straight to free childcare. Oh, I appreciate the endorsement of Governor Hochul and her support in free childcare. That's not an answer. That's sidestepping, because she doesn't support that at all.
Most direct and straightforward ways to raise this revenue. If there are other ways to raise this funds, the most important thing is that we actually fund this agenda.
You said that President Trump was watching you last night. It appears that he was watching you. And it also appears that he and other Republicans are trying to make you the...
So, yeah, he does have a plan B. It's definitely not taxing the rich. It's not going after millionaires or billionaires. You know, it's funny how, these socialists are against billionaires, but they're all backed by them, just like every other candidate running for any kind of office. They're all feathers on the same bird. So, but yeah, he has a plan B to get that money to fund his agenda.
Good morning, New York City. Thank you. Last night we made history, and today we begin the work of making a new administration. Welcome to the transition. This is the period over the next few months where we build a city hall that delivers on the promises of our campaign, to make New York City affordable and to make government accountable to the people it serves. As we prepare to govern, we'll start announcing the leaders who will help implement our agenda. People like deputy mayors who oversee entire areas of government, and the commissioners who carry out the critical work of city agencies. These appointments will be driven by excellence, integrity, and a hunger to solve old problems with new solutions. Talking to organizers on the front lines of the fight to improve our city, government veterans with proven track records, policy experts from around the country and the world, and working people who know better than anyone what our neighborhoods deserve. And this will be a period, like the campaign we ran and the city hall to come, defined by transparency. Because New Yorkers deserve a government they can trust. On January 1st, I will be your mayor. New Year's Day, and a new era for this city. Oh, and one more thing. Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again. This transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure that can meet this moment. And it will be made possible by the people who built and believe in this movement. So I hope you'll make a donation at transition2025.com. Now let's get to work.
So yeah, as you can see, he's got a plan B, and it's donations, begging people for money. Because it's going to take him a while, anyways, before he can get any of his agenda up and running. So he's gonna have to feed the machine somehow. He's gonna have to feed the people that's working, behind the scenes, his team, and that's gonna be, of course, out of the pockets of the New Yorkers. I'm glad I don't live there. It's gonna be interesting to watch. I'm gonna enjoy this to a certain degree. Watching it's going to be an absolute shit show. Is what it's going to be, and it's already starting because he's already doubling and tripling down on the tax increase, and nobody's going to want that. No one's going to want that. We already pay too much in taxes to an illegal point, anyways, and it shows with this article here by the New York Post, which says nearly 1 million New Yorkers ready to flee NYC if Mamdani becomes mayor. Well, he's mayor, so we're going to see exactly how many go, and if they, in fact, do. The exact count is 765,000 people out of the 8.4 million residents who call New York City their home are preparing to leave, with about 9% of New Yorkers sharing that they would definitely leave the city if Mamdani is elected the 111th mayor, the Daily Mail reported, citing a survey conducted by JL Partners. Now, do I think that many is actually going to adhere to the exodus? No. There are going to be a lot of heavy hitters moving out, though. They're going to be taking their businesses out of there and moving their families out of there. And New York's going to lose a lot of money with what this man's agenda is. It's not good. It will not last. That's if he even gets enough supporter backing to execute it. Now, I'm sure he'll execute some of his policies that he's trying to impart on the residents of New York City, the upper 1%. And it's going to take a situation that is already extremely volatile and fragile and completely decimate it. Is what's going to happen, because nobody, and even rich people, don't like coming off of their money, especially to people they don't really align with. Because that's the problem here. He has preyed and played on people's not so sunny dispositions and their horrible stations in life where they're at financially, and people who are lazy and who don't want to work and have been leeching off the system for years. And his whole campaign was based off of free. Let's make this place more affordable, which is not going to happen when you're raising taxes. I don't see how this is not relevant or not prevalent to the people of New York City, the ones who voted for him. I don't see how they don't see that. You don't even need to have an economic degree of any kind or certification, nothing, to see that absolutely makes no sense. There's no way. There's no way that makes any sense. I'm going to increase the money that we, the government, take from you and make your lives more affordable and easier on you financially. No, this is a massive contradiction. So we will see how this plays out. I have a feeling it's going to absolutely fall apart very quickly, and there's going to be a lot of pushback from that top 1% or anyone he tries to get money from, and it's going to be bad. I think it's going to go very badly, and I do feel sorry for those, like people who are retired, people who are disabled, and people who really work their butts off. I mean, I myself, I worked 74 hours this last week. And that is a constant that I'm in that hourly realm. 250 to 350 hours a month is what I work. So I get it. I get the appeal of free stuff, but I'm also not naive. I've been paying taxes since I was 15 and I'm 47 now. I know I have a pretty good grasp on how this works. And I've watched many presidents and their teams, once they get in the White House, drop the ball, and I've seen it happen on the micro scale as well in cities. And socialism it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's definitely going to work in a capitalistic country for sure. But anyways, just let me know what you guys think. Once again, please like, share, and subscribe.